the main purpose for why we're doing these interviews with alumni like you is because we want to share information about the program with students who might participate in the future, kind of to give them a sense of what Education USA Academy is like, and what it's like to do the program. So with that said, I think we'll just jump right in, and maybe could I ask you to tell us what your experience with the program was? You know, where did you study, and what was it like?
Education USA Academy was one of the most wonderful experiences in my life. I participated in the program. I was at Montana State University from the 9th of July to the 4th of August. And throughout the program, we were able to learn a lot about United States culture, the application process, and you also get to meet a lot of people from all over the world and learn about their cultures. During the 3 weeks, we had intensive English classes in preparation, which included academic reading and writing, where we learned how to prepare a successful application essay for universities. We've also had US culture classes where we learned about American history. Also, we had TOEFL preparation, American higher education classes where we learn for the different opportunities, the scholarships and the application process as a whole, leadership classes. And during our free time, we had different trips to colleges and also to popular and famous sites, including Yellowstone National Park, Highlight Lake, Butte and the World Museum of Mining, the World Museum of Dinosaurs, and everything was really interesting, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity and the program because it broadened my horizon, and now I'm definitely considering in applying to the States. The program lasted for 4 weeks. One of the weeks, we stayed at a host family. The group in which I was in consisted of students from Canada, Mozambique, Spain, Turkey, and Bulgaria. And we were placed together in these families in order to learn more about the life of Americans. And while living at the dorms, we actually immersed ourselves in the life of college students.
That's great. It sounds like a really good experience, and like there was a very diverse group of students who you studied with in Montana. How did you hear about the program?
I heard about the program from my English teacher, which is also our class teacher. She mentioned about the program, and I found it really exciting because of the opportunity to go for 3 to 4 weeks in the States and get to know about the culture and most importantly about the universities and how American higher education works.
Yeah, great. So thinking back on your experience in Montana, could you describe what a typical day was like?
A typical day was we would get up, we'd had breakfast, and then we'd begin with the classes from about 8:30, and we would finish at 5 p.m. And the classes consisted of what I've talked about before, academic reading and writing, the preparation of the essays, different writing exercises, also the TOEFL preparation, the US culture class, and after that we would have a break in between for lunch, and we would continue with our classes till 5 p.m. And every day after our classes, our program organizers have to plan many different activities. So we did many different stuff, like we went to the movies, we had different games and challenges between us. We've also went bowling, and it was very interesting. And during the weekends and on Fridays, we had trips to different universities and cities. We went to the capital. We visited Carroll College, Montana Tech in Butte, and also MSU Billings.
Mm-hmm.
And the trips are what?
Great. Yeah, I think it's helpful to hear about a typical day, because sometimes it's hard to imagine for students what it would be like to participate in this program. So it sounds like a good mix of classes as well as kind of fun cultural activities and campus visits. So could you talk a little bit more about the experience of living on campus? So you were living with other students in a dormitory. You were having your meals in the dining hall. What was that experience like?
This was really exciting for me because I've never separated from my family for this long, and it helped me become more individualistic. And I also learned how to organize better and how to prepare my works, because we had different exercises, and also it was really interesting, and because you get to experience the life of a student, and it helps you consider the opportunity of the applying to US colleges.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a better view of it, of the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it like?
Yeah, great. So a focus of the program was learning about college and university in the US. Having gone through the program, can you talk about your future goals? Are you interested in university study in the US, and do you know what field of study you're most interested in?
Actually, before the program, I've never considered applying to university to the States because of the financial difficulties and also the long distance. But after the program, I realized the different opportunities, and currently I'm planning to apply to a US college and to major in medicine.
Wow, that's great. And while you were at Montana State, did you have the opportunity to interact with American students who were there?
Yes, the program organizers actually gave each of us an opportunity to meet people from the sphere which we were interested in. So two of my classmates were interested in physics, so they met with a physics professor. Others were interested with social sciences, medicine. So we got the chance to meet students who've actually walked this path, and also they gave us some useful advice for the application process and also the studying of the subject.
Yeah, great.
And I found it really useful.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. One thing that students are sometimes nervous about when thinking about this program is the prospect of traveling on their own internationally to the US. For a lot of students, it's the first time that they've traveled on their own without parents traveling with. So can you talk about your experience traveling to the US? Was it your first time traveling to the US? First time traveling alone? And just what was the process like?
It was the first time of traveling on my own too, and I've never separated from my family for this long. So in the beginning, I was a little bit nervous, but actually everything went smoothly. We had different transfers. We had different transfers from the airports, but everything went smoothly. There was a lot of people who could help you and information, so you should definitely not worry about that part.
Good, yeah. And when you arrived at the airport in Montana, you got to the airport. What happened then?
Actually, we had a really warm welcome, and everyone was happy to see us. They showed us around the campus, the dorms, and they gave us the schedule for the other day. So everything went smoothly, and it was fantastic.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, sometimes it can be kind of stressful to have long travels, but it's good to know that everything went smoothly when you arrived. And that's something that's common across all of the academy sessions, is that students arrive at the airport and they're always met by a staff member of the university who helps them get to campus, get checked into the dorm, and get settled in. So thinking about one aspect of the program, the campus visits, the visits to other campuses near Montana State. Can you talk about what was the most interesting part of seeing other campuses?
I would say the most interesting part was that there are different types of colleges, liberal arts colleges, so we get to know the differences between them. Some of them were smaller, focused on specific subjects, while others had consisted of many different colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really interesting. We visited the labs. We also had a presentation. So we learned about each one of them, and we got more information on how to apply to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. That's excellent. Thinking back on the program as a whole, what do you think was the most valuable thing that you got out of the program, or the most interesting thing that you learned?
I think that probably the most interesting thing was that now I'm more devoted, and I actually know that there are many different opportunities, and if you take the chance, you could really succeed. So you should fight for your dreams. And I actually found the program really useful, as I was able to broaden my horizon, and it showed me the different possibilities and options. And also another wonderful part is that you meet people from all over the world. You get to learn about them and their culture. So it's a really interesting interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great, great. One really important part of the college application process for U.S. universities is the personal statement. So colleges look not just at grades and classes that you've taken, but also a personal statement where applicants write about their goals and their interests. Did you have an opportunity during the program to work on a personal statement that you might use in the future for an application?
Yes, we've actually worked on the personal statement, and by the end of the program, we had our personal statement finished. And also, the idea of the staff of the university was also to have a reflection essay on our whole experience there. And also, each of us was given the opportunity to record videos to include to our personal statements. So one day, when we apply, we would get a better chance and also for a scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That's great. I hope that that's really useful for you in the future when you apply. Did you also have a chance during the program, or do you feel that the program helped you to be better prepared for standardized tests like the TOEFL or the SAT?
Yes, we've had we've taken different parts from the TOEFL, the reading, the listening. So we had different tests, and we worked on the exercises and we learned how to be better prepared for the exams. And I found that also really useful.
Mm-hmm. Great, good, I'm glad. Do you have any advice or words of wisdom that you would want to share with students who are thinking about participating in the academy, but kind of not exactly sure if it's the program that they want to do?
I would definitely say to participate, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime, and you also get many chances to learn about the application process. Everything is very useful. You get a lot of information. You make a lot of new friends. And last but not least, you should not worry about the travels and the others, because the main point is to have a wonderful time and just try to be yourselves and definitely apply.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Just a couple more questions, I think. How many years of high school do you have left? And do you know already what field of study you are interested in focusing on?
I have 3 more years of high school left, and I've decided on medicine and majoring in medicine.
Excellent. That's great. So you still have some time to think about what your future plans are. Do you have any schools in the U.S. that you are particularly interested in applying to?
I'm interested in Ivy Leagues and focusing on medicine, talking about Harvard, Stanford, and also other great medical schools such as Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, those are definitely all institutions that have really strong medicine programs, definitely. Well, I think that I'm actually getting to the end of the questions that I wanted to ask. So I'll give Sydney's joining in the chat feature. So I'll give Sydney a chance to, if you have any other questions that you want to ask while we have Hakmet on the line. Okay, well, I don't think we have any more questions, actually, Hakmet. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. Anything else that you want to say before we end the interview?
Just try to be yourself and try to get the most out of the program and apply to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Well, Hakmet, please keep us updated on your plans and your accomplishments in the future. Stay connected through Facebook or Twitter, and we look forward to hearing about what you do in the future.
I will definitely. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.